I love the comment.
Not only are they not superior, they're also all pedophiles.
Oh. T.
Yes.
That's kind of, I take offense to that as...
Yeah. You would actually dating a 19-year-old.
What?
Where did you hear this?
You said it on the previous podcast.
I never... You've put a lot of words in my mouth. I've never disclosed anything related to my dating.
It's going viral.
19 wouldn't count as pedophile either.
No.
Yeah, well, and by the way, can you actually make a moral argument against that? Because you brought it up multiple times. Why don't you actually make a moral argument for why that would be wrong, even if he did? Even assuming he did, make a single moral argument for how that would be wrong or immoral.
How that would make him a pedophile.
No, it would not. How?
That's what I'm saying.
It can be wrong without making him a pedophile.
Can we avoid that word, please?
Okay, but how is it immoral?
Being a 34-year-old man dating an 18-year-old?
Yeah, don't restate the question. Just
19,
answer the question.
18,
how
20,
is it
21.
immoral, even if he did do that?
Immoral, I think it's just too vague, too nuanced. No.
You don't know what moral means?
I do know what moral means, but
Good, then how would it be immoral?
You clearly had a position against it. You've brought it up multiple times.
Yeah, I
think
think
just defend your position.
Well, I'm defending it. I think it's weird, but I think you're going all this like black and white. For me personally, I think that's very strange.
Morality is black or white. It's either moral or it's not moral. It's not in between. There's no nuance.
But it's not.
With
you know exactly. Morality is completely subjective.
Would you object
no,
to...
well, wait, hang on, back up. If morality is completely subjective, then all you would be stating here is a subjective opinion as to whether or not it was immoral what Brian did anyway, right?
A lot of the opinions stated tonight are subjective. That's like what an opinion is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, which is why I asked for a moral argument, and she says morality is subjective.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
So if morality is subjective, then you couldn't actually say that even if Brian was dating a 19-year-old, that would be objectively immoral, correct?
There's no such thing as anything being objective when it comes to morality.
We clearly have opinions about these
things. I disagree, but whether or not that's true, you would still say that there's nothing objectively immoral about that, right?
Yeah, we can go back to that. We're just like harping on it, but yeah, I think it's weird.
Okay, great. Now let's move into the subjective portion. What, even from your position of subjective morality, would make it immoral for him to date a 19-year-old?
There's nothing that I can imagine as a man that you would look at as an 18-year-old at your age with the experience that you've had that would make that not be strange.
Really? So you don't think that a man who was looking for fertility in a woman, would he go for a younger woman or an older woman?
See, that's when I'm all like, you guys are all pedophiles. You guys are all so fucking gross.
Well, I'm sorry. You believe in evolution, do you not?
Here we go.
This girl's insane. Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Wait, no, answer the question.
Guys.
Do you believe in evolution?
Wait, what?
She's God, so she created evolution.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead with your point.
If you believed in evolution, then you would say that there would be an evolutionary mechanism inside of men where they would go for women who are more fertile, because the more fertile women would, of course, create more offspring.
Can I talk?
So why is it that if a 40-year-old man went even for a 19-year-old girl, that wouldn't make sense from an evolutionary standpoint? From your subjective morality, what could possibly be wrong with that?
That's fucking disgusting.
Two things.
Yeah, just don't give me the fucking.
I will give you the fucking Andrew.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Athena has something to say. Go ahead, Athena.
You know what else is evolutionary? Rape.
What?
Every other species does it.
Can you just say essay or something?
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
Essay.
You said two things.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first thing.
What?
Essay, like, before we had society, how did we reproduce?
What?
We still utilize what's called sexual intercourse. Isn't that amazing?
What?
Animals do it. Like
animals also have sexual intercourse. Isn't that crazy?
What?
We also used to kill each other all the time. There's
we
a bunch of
immoral. Wait, we still do that.
Yeah, and it's still not
immoral. But I'm just saying,
bad, right?
I'm just saying, just because it happened.
You can't even describe what is bad.
I just said subjectively.
Can I get through my point? I'm
Go
just
ahead,
saying
get to your point.
The
Make
things
it.
that in the past that were pre-societal that now we still do, just because we did it 1,000 years ago does not make it
moral. And 2,
Perfect. So if that's true, and it's not moral, then give me the moral argument against it outside of you just don't prefer it.
I was going to do that next, and then you.
Yeah, then do it.
Okay. So if a 34-year-old is dating an 18-year-old, that 18-year-old like doesn't have any maturity, doesn't know anything, has no
Life
frame
experience.
of reference around the world. They're not in a good place in their life. They probably aren't successful or as successful as they would be later. The dating pool is objectively way less far in their career. So you just, in every way, other than sexual preference, there's nothing about an 18-year-old that is attractive other than sexual preference. So
No.
for
Can you give me the argument for how that's immoral yet? Are you ever going to get to
So when
that?
should we let them choose?
Could I keep talking?
Erroneous.
Could I keep talking?
Well, are you ever going to get to the actual point?
If you
How
don't-
is it immoral? Give
if you
me
stop
that
interrupting
answer,
me, I
please.
could.
Don't restate all the conditions which it exists under. Tell me the argument for how it's immoral,
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
please.
So for a man to be dating someone with only sexual preference in mind, and for a woman to not know that and be dating them and like their personality and want to be around them, it's kind of weird for a man to be okay with this person having this like emotional connection to them. Well, I'm not saying it's disgusting. I'm not saying.
When
it's
are you
like-
going to get to the part where it's immoral ever?
You could, okay. You
But why
disagree,
are
that's
you
okay.
assuming that that's the case, that an older guy
Well, hang
just
on,
wants...
Brian. Just
Oh,
real quick.
Yeah,
Older
yeah.
women
Can you
too.
give me an actual argument for the immorality or not? You just keep restating the
5 more
conditions.
minutes?
I don't care about the conditions. Why is it immoral?
To me, that's immoral. If it's not to you, then we have a different moral compass, which is
Okay,
fine.
so to you it's immoral. So it's immoral because it's immoral because it's immoral. Can you give me the actual argument for why it's immoral? Or are you just going to keep restating the conditions and your preferences? Give me the argument for why it's immoral.
Andrew, when you have a moment, when we're done with this, I do have a question directly to you. But I'll
Thank you
wait.
for
Yeah, okay,
interrupting
you
the
can
Sorry.
answer my
conversation.
question.
Sorry.
Or are you just going to say that you don't have an argument for why it's immoral?
Just take the L,
I
bro.
explained my argument. We can disagree.
There was no argument. You never made an argument. All you did was give me a sequence of conditions in which it could happen. Okay, fine. I
could say
concede all
that-
those conditions. How is it immoral? Give me the
You could
argument,
say that about
please.
any argument. That's a fake argument because you could really say
What?
that about anything that's been said. Oh, you just gave me conditions. Give me an argument. Give me an argument. Give me an
Yeah,
argument.
I can give you an
can say
argument
that to
for
anyone
why
just to
something
be
is
like, I
immoral,
don't think
why
your point
it's
is
moral.
invalid.
Ask
you
me
can
a
say
moral
it's
question,
invalid.
I'll give you an argument. Can
By
you
the
give
way,
me
by the way,
argument?
this is coming from a girl who at 18 willingly dated a 30-year-old billionaire. I don't object to you dating a 30-year-old,
And look back
but it's
at it.
incredibly convenient for you to say that, oh, it's wrong for an older guy to date a younger woman. Bear in mind,
For a woman, an older woman to date a younger man too, that should be mentioned.
I don't
Yeah,
think
okay,
either is
just
wrong.
last question.
I don't
Just
think
last question,
either
real
is
quick.
wrong. Go ahead, Andrew.
Without stating a preference or conditions that you just like don't without restating the conditions, can you actually give me an argument? And the contrary to this is you can ask me a moral question and I will give you an argument from the perception of my morality for why something is wrong or right. Can you actually tell me why this is immoral outside of stating the conditions? I don't care about the conditions. Why is it immoral?
Because if you're letting someone think you love them and you don't love them.
What? But that's another condition you're adding on top of it. Like, what if a 30-year-old guy,
If they had the same maturity level, it'd be fine. Sometimes it's okay.
maturity level?
Yeah, sometimes it's okay. I'm not saying every
Hold on,
single.
but is it the
don't
case?
Generalize.
Do you think that men and boys your age are immature?
Yeah. Sometimes that's a generalization
Checkmate.
too.
Checkmate. You've just lost the
can I
argument.
ask
You've
a
just lost the
question?
argument
Just a
because
preference.
if it's the case that you view men that are your age as immature, by default, then you must pair up with and partner with men who are older than you because you view them as more mature.
I think that I'm immature. Equally.
I agree.
Do you think you're more?
But
do you
I'm not
think you're
generalizing.
more mature?
You can't generalize that shit.
Do
It's
you think
so, there's
you're-
such a disparity with ages?
But it's a common trope I hear from women that men my age, they're so immature, blah, blah, blah. Like it takes two to tango.
There's just an opportunity, a higher opportunity to be
women
manipulated.
also tend to date and find men
For lots of
who are
reasons.
older, whether it's even 1 or 2 or 3 years, more attractive.
It
There's
just
so
saves the
different-
opportunity for
Can
it to
I
be
can I
gross.
can I just ask a question?
But it's no. It's literally hypocritical because it's okay for you to date a guy who's 30 when you're 18 because he's a billionaire.
Don't you think it's something attractive about a guy having his shit together?
Yeah.
Like just a guy like, oh my gosh, this guy's got a whole home,
Yes.
or it's clean, or he actually is like he replies right away without being drunk at some frat party.
But
like there
also-
are advantages to dating an older man that you might find attractive, maybe you don't. So you'd have like a reason. There's a multiple variants of
but
why you might like
also-
an older man, and there's multiple variants of why a man might like a younger woman. Also, if you're gonna say that he's wrong for doing a thing, you should be able to tell him why it's wrong.
You've been wanting to say something.
Into the mic, please.
Sorry, I'm not necessarily going to stand with her side, but I understand where she's saying it's immoral. It's immoral technically because if there is an intention with advantage, the advantage would be I'm sleeping with the younger girl. I can convince her and pursue her
She's
to
malleable.
have sex with me, possibly be her first partner, if not one of very
Because
few.
she thinks that you're cooler.
And because I can convince her that I am better than, or I can teach her things, quote unquote, which a lot of men do say,
Mold
for
and sculpt.
all these things. That's what she's
Yes,
most
because
likely
we don't
Well,
want to
then
date
your
a woman
argument
like
here
you
is-
who's combative and argumentative and hyper masculine. You're super set in your ways. Yes,
have
of
to
course,
ask you this,
we do
though.
want to date pleasant women.
Yeah,
Heaven forbid a man wants to date a pleasant a woman who hasn't had a shit ton of
Can I
trauma
ask
and
one
who has a
question?
shit ton of baggage
ask one
from
question?
previous relationships.
But
Yes,
also
one
that's
question.
why-
Yes.
One
Yes.
question to you, to both of you and Andrew. Let me ask you this, and to anybody who's watching. I'm genuinely so curious. I'm going to present you a situation. If there's a situation where there is a gorgeous, beautiful, kind, sweet, innocent virgin, she's 15 years old. No. Let me ask. She's 15
No.
years old. Oh, no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going
no.
to even entertain that bullshit fucking question.
Why?
Because we are talking about.
Why is it
Why is
guided
it
by
so
law?
crazy?
Why is it guided by
What?
law?
Why? What's wrong?
Why would
What's
you-
wrong with
because we were
15? You
talking
can do
about
18. You can do
19-year-old.
17.
We're talking
It's
about
wrong because
adult
it's a minor
relationships.
adult
Oh, so what's
relationship.
adult
talking
now?
about
So
women.
18 is it? So
Yes, that's
18
what the
is-
law
yes.
has decided.
That's what the
18.
law says. But I'm
Right.
just saying, well, don't you want fertile, peak fertility?
What?
What?
I
That's
like
what
women
you
who
guys
are.
keep
No.
saying.
Shut up.
No,
I like.
you
No.
shut up.
Shut up.
You
Hold on,
will
let
fuck.
me.
You just admit you would fuck a 15-year-old. And you
What
would.
the
Hold on.
fuck?
That's crazy.
That's a low
If you could
blow.
get
I
away
like-
with it, if you could get
No,
away with it, you would.
No.
The vast
Hold on.
majority of
No.
men
Hold
would.
on.
You're insane.
First off, I like blonde women. That doesn't mean I would date a blonde that's 12. What the fuck?
I said 15.
So just because of no. Okay, first off,
Yeah, so here, let's
Hold on,
respond
wait,
to
wait,
the
wait,
argument.
wait, wait.
Let me
Andrew,
just
Andrew.
respond to the argument directly, okay? So the argument is, could there be some men who have that preference, or is your argument that we have that
Well, I
preference?
wasn't even able to finish the
first
question,
one.
but
I think she
but
means
if
the
there
first
was,
one.
but if you were able to be presented with this opportunity where there
No.
was zero
Here.
legal consequence
No.
and
Yeah, I
nobody
wouldn't
would
do it.
ever know.
I would say
Yeah, I wouldn't do
no.
it because I've
No.
seen
In a
objective
million
morality
years,
that
no.
would
That's a
objectively
literal
be
child.
So what is
Yeah, that's
so
a
objective
child.
morality is 18
what?
is
What happens
No,
the
that's
day
just
that they
what the-
turn 18?
Such a bad faith.
If you're
like,
17,
fucking
it's
question.
disgusting. If you're
Well, hang
fresh
on, but
18,
this
it's not
question would be
disgusting.
turned right back against
what
you. You're
changes
saying
in
the
your
age of
brain?
consent is arbitrary?
I don't know, is it? I don't
Well,
know.
I'm
So would
asking
you
you.
fuck
You're
a
making the
15-year-old?
point that like men that do really terrible things make. When you say the things like, "Well, what's so magic about my brain that it changes when it turns 18?" The law
lot.
has determined that 18 is the
Because
thing.
the
and in
law's
some-
always correct.
What-
No, it's your
you're-
brain.
My point
Well,
is,
in
in
your
other
subjective
countries,
metric, what else do you have? What else do you have?
Other countries,
You don't
the
have
norm is
anything.
And
in
I
your
said if
subjective
law
metric.
did not exist, if law did not exist.
So would you fuck a 15-year-old if the
Yeah,
law didn't
so if
exist?
we're talking about the
Me,
law, or
Why?
absent the law, I still
that's
believe in
gross.
a standard for objective morality.
yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping men would say
Rojas,
the same.
speak.
No, I'm just they're thinking about like, okay, a 19-year-old dating a 34-year-old.
We're talking about adult relationships, adult
relationships.
women.
Some people like a younger girl because they obviously
What's-
haven't been, ran through or like.
More
There's plenty
physically
of.
attractive.
They're more physically attractive, more emotionally available, more romantic, more energy, optimistic about the future.
Naivete
more
is also kind
fertile.
of sweet.